From my memory, that Visa Concierge might be slightly better, but we'll have to see when we actually call them.
I'll be surprised if Amex doesn't win.
So everybody knows about the American Express Platinum Concierge, but did you know there are actually multiple different types of concierge? There's the Visa one, here's the Mastercard one. Today we're going to put them head to head and compare all three different types of concierge. We're going to give them 3 tasks to do, and then we're going to rank them based on 4 factors. The first thing we're going to be ranking them on is wait time. So how long will it take to actually, speak to a concierge?
That's right. The second thing we're going to be ranking them on is politeness. Do they have a good greeting? Do they say hi or hello, or do they just, leave you by the wayside?
Yeah, it's pretty important.
Yep.
And then the third one we're going to do is knowledge, and this is probably going to be one of the most important factors. How well can they do something? Can they actually give us recommendations that are worth our time?
And lastly, based on all those tasks, we're going to be ranking them on length of time, how long it actually takes them to complete each and every one of those tasks.
And all of them are going to be on a scale from 1 to 5. So you want to go ahead and just get started?
Let's call them. Let's do it.
Which one should we start with first? American Express, or let's do something different? Visa?
I feel like we should do Amex last.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because then wouldn't...
Best for last.
Best for last. Let's see it. All right, so let me call Visa. Let's do it.
Welcome to Chase Sapphire. Reflect all transactions, including interest.
Concierge.
$3 with balance.
I need help. Shut up.
To speak with a customer service specialist, please press 0 at any time.
I guess that's our only option.
I wonder if you had to call a dedicated line.
This is Kim. Can I have your first and last name, please?
So I'm just looking for help. I called the number on the back, but I was looking to get to the concierge service if possible.
Would you like to be connected and also get their direct phone number?
Yes, please.
You'll first need to verify your Visa signature card account.
16? Oh, the whole number? Oh my god. Alright, here we go.
Thank you for calling Visa Signature Concierge. This is Monty speaking. How can I assist you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good.
Awesome. I just need a little bit of help. So I have a pretty big event coming up. It's actually my wife's birthday, and I wanted to make it really special for her because it's been kind of a long time. It's kind of been a hard year. So I'm looking to see if you would be able to help me out kind of with a travel itinerary of a trip that we have coming up to Washington, D.C. Is that possible?
That'll be no problem. It looks like this is your first time calling into the concierge service, so I would like to welcome you. So let's start off with the activities. What is something that you guys are interested in?
I would say we'd like to do tours, kind of like a lot of history, so I guess maybe museums and maybe like a walking tour if possible.
Right. I know it is her birthday. Are you wanting to find like any maybe romantic or couple things that you guys could do?
Oh yeah, if that's available, for sure. I feel bad because she's doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, I'll be able to work
for science.
Interested like in any type of food, or are you guys nightlife people?
Yeah, usually we're in bed by 10 o'clock maybe. Oh, and that's a crazy night.
Okay.
But maybe for food, just like a standard, I guess what you would call American.
And do you have a budget that you would like to stay around in the activity ballpark?
I would say the budget probably around $300. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. We just like to stick around, ask for a budget so there's nothing that's like overwhelming.
See, man, I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
It's pretty good.
So are you okay with something on the more upscale side?
The upper level is okay too. She's worth it after all.
Yeah, of course.
Would you also be able to give me like a few different options on like transportation to the city?
Oh, yes, so we can do that. And then as far as in like with the shared or private, would you like for us to just look for private options? Are you okay with like riding in a shared shuttle?
I think both are okay.
So that just puts us at a turnaround time as 1 day and 7 hours that we'll be able to get these options out to you.
That's awesome. Yeah, that works.
Thank you so much for calling me for Concierge. You have a great day.
Listen, man, I know you feel bad, but there are some people out there that hold the Chase Sapphire Referred and don't know they have access to the concierge service, and that was actually pretty impressive.
Okay, for $95, we're granted this service. Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed, but we don't know yet. We have to get the email first. If the email says like it's a dangerous area, or it's
just shitty recommendations. All right, man. Gonna get to this one, Mastercard. I feel like my perception of Mastercard is like one of the lower tiers compared to Visa and American Express, so we'll just have to see what they can offer.
Thank you for calling the Mastercard Assistance Center. Please enter your Mastercard card number, followed by the pound or hash key. No entry was detected. Please try again. For concierge services, including dining reservations and promotions, press 4. Please hold while your call is transferred. Sophie, how may I assist?
Hello, I was just wondering if you all can help. Hello? Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, hello.
Hello? Can you hear me?
She hung up.
Oh my god. Is it my telephone service? Should we use your phone?
Please hold while your call is transferred. Thank you for calling Mastercard Concierge. My name is Morgan. How may I assist?
Hello, I was just wondering.
Can I have your PIN, please?
Yeah, what is with
What the? Bro, we literally cannot get it done. We can't get it done with MasterCard.
4 bars of LTE?
Look, I just did the call with them. It was perfect. One more time, and they get 0 stars.
For calling World Elite Mastercard, my name is Virginia. How may I assist?
Hello, I was just wondering
Of course, I'd be thrilled to assist. I do need to gather some information.
a couple recommendations on how to travel to there.
Right. Yes, of course, I'll send you a couple options.
Thank you.
When it comes to dining, is there any allergies or aversion? First time in DC, or have you been there before?
Yes, this would be my first time.
Fantastic! How exciting! Well, I'll tell you right now that you have to go to Ben's Chili's, which
Oh.
is the landmark there. It's a little heavy, but it's all right. I'm going to get started on this, and I'll have information to you by. I'll start. It'll take a bit of time, so I'll say
Okay.
I'll have it to you by Sunday, no later than 1 o'clock. Feel free to ask, or if you have any other requests, such as any gift ideas for your birthday.
Maybe some recommendations for gifts. I'm not sure exactly, but it would be cool to have just the recommendations if that's possible.
Sure thing. What your budget is and things she would like or not like.
For a budget, maybe between like 100, 200. She definitely likes jewelry. It's kind of hard to think about it now that I get asked.
No problem. That's totally okay. Does she have a favorite color? I have some great walking tour ideas for you. So I'm going to send them to you, and then we can look at them. We can talk about it.
That sounds great.
I'll get started on this now, and
Okay.
then I'll have some information. I'm very excited about this trip. You're going to have a great time, I'm sure. All right. Well, we'll be in touch. I won't take up any more of your time, and I'll get to work.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much. So they got you off the phone really quickly.
Yeah.
You think she had enough information to make a good itinerary?
She got a lot of good information, but I think my person got more,
Specific?
more
Yeah.
specific information. But again, a lot of it does depend on what we're gonna get in the emails.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, my person could come up with a list of like 20 places. Anthony's person could come up with a list of like, here's 2 places you could. So what do we have now, Anthony?
All right, so
We had the Big Daddy.
we got the Big Daddy Platty. Let's go, baby. I'm gonna say this is gonna win, man. I mean, I kind of have to at this point. I love American Express. The concierge has helped me on more than one occasion.
Come to American Express Platinum Cards for Schwab. Please enter the last 5 digits of your card number. How can I help you today?
Concierge.
Which are you calling about? Travel, dining, event tickets, gifts and flowers, or tours?
All of the above.
All of the above.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Airline, hotel.
Maybe
Sorry, I did.
Operator.
Okay, just a moment while I connect you to a representative.
It's already long.
Hi, thank you for calling American Express Platinum Travel. This is Faye. Whom do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hey, how's it going? This is Anthony.
I have your Platinum cards pulled up. Thank you for calling it fully verified and for doing business with American Express for almost 5 years now. How can I help you with travel?
Pretty much, I'm going to Washington, D.C. for...
That is very sweet. And we would be more than happy to help you, sir. However, I only do fly hotel and
It was at this moment that he knew.
car. But you don't have to worry. We have our concierge team who could definitely help you.
I'm in the back there with this toilet paper.
I need to change your pants.
Go to Men's Warehouse.
Thank you so much for your patience. I have my wonderful colleague, Amy, on the line with us right now. Here we're looking for a dining reservation. Is that correct?
Well, a few things, if possible. So basically,
So we can definitely take a look into restaurant recommendations. In regards to an itinerary or things and excursions to do throughout the day, We don't technically assist with that, but I can direct you to a website that you can see different things on there.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, gotcha. Trying to figure out how to get from maybe one of the airports there to the city. Like, you wouldn't be able to help with that?
If you're looking for pick up and drop off or some airport transfers to and from hotels and whatnot, that would all go through our travel department.
So then I guess just for the restaurants then.
Are you open to different types of cuisine? For sure. Would you prefer a phone call or an email with results?
Email if possible.
You're welcome. Anything else that I can provide to you?
I guess for what I mentioned at the beginning, would you be able to transfer me to anybody that may be able to help with an itinerary?
But that would be our travel department, so bear with me about 2 minutes.
I think I'm just gonna hang up. I'll go through it. I was about to hang up, but maybe they'll have more info.
Do I have Anthony on the line?
Yes, it is.
Oh, to DC. Okay. Yeah, they used to, basically help with planning, stuff like that. Did they give you the information for Get Your Guide?
When did they actually change that? Do you know?
I want to say it's been a year or more.
So I guess, would you be able to help just because I will be flying in that day?
If you're talking about having a car service, we do have carry limo. Also, depending on where you're staying, are you staying at a hotel? Their concierge would also have potential for transfer, so you wouldn't have to take a taxi. Do you use the Uber on your... Do you have Uber on yours? Let me see. Yeah, because you get that Uber benefit every month if you use it where you get reimbursed, which helps. Yeah, what about dinner when you were talking to Concierge Resi app? Do you have access to the Resi app? What about shows in the area? That would also be a concierge team thing, but they could certainly do that.
Oh, is that possible that they could send an email of that as well?
Yeah, we can reach back out to them and see if they can send you information on...
Wow. Tyler, throw that in.
I really just want to hang up, but I don't want to be rude. She's on hold. Okay, I'm going to speak to you guys directly. I have been known to talk up the concierge service. I never used anybody else, so I didn't know any better. I used the concierge, and it's always helped me for the things that I needed it for. But for this particular case where it's like I need help booking my entire itinerary, and seeing that Visa and Mastercard were able to do it like 10 times better than this, in fact, it's not even a multiple because it's zero. I can only get restaurants through Amex. So
that's the only thing.
You guys are right. I mean, this sucks. I'm just gonna be honest. As someone who loves the freaking Platinum card, loves what it offers and the status is associated, that freaking sucks compared to the other two. I'm just gonna say it. Oh my god, I really can't believe this.
That's why we did the video.
I'm canceling the Platinum. That's it.
So I have Amy on the phone again. She just talked to you about the dining. How you doing again?
That's everything, Amy.
You can definitely look into concerts, like comedy shows, theater, like entertainment. Anything that you would hate for us to suggest to you?
Probably as long as it's not like a strip club or anything like that.
Worries, we definitely won't suggest this.
Appreciate it.
Probably get that to you at the exact date and time, 6 o'clock p.m. Tuesday and Saturday.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy.
You're welcome. I hope you have a great day.
Waste.
Oh god, you didn't expect that, did you?
No. 1 star for everything. Let me give you a website with no, I want an experience. I want someone to look through and find something perfect. That's why we pay this money. And the fact that the build card is free and the Sapphire is $95 and this is 6 times more expensive than the least expensive car, or the most expensive car on this list. Ridiculous. Yeah.
I told you before we recorded this video, I'm afraid to ask that question, Anthony, about traveling from the airport to the hotel. I'm like, they're just gonna tell you that you can just take a lift or something.
They literally said that. I'm really upset. This is like an amazing eye-opening experience for me.
So we finally got everything back, so let's go ahead and go through them. Let's go over the first thing. Wait time. So for Visa, when contacting the number on the back of the Chase Sapphire Preferred, it took 5 minutes and 25 seconds. For Mastercard, that time took 9 minutes and 9 seconds. But if we want to just take the time from the actual call that actually went through, it only took 1 minute and 35 seconds. And then for American Express, it took a total of 2 minutes and 35 seconds. As for wait time after going through all the options and just being on hold, for Visa, it only took 19 seconds. For Mastercard, it took 13 seconds. And for American Express, it took 51 seconds. So based on these times, it's a little bit hard to judge because each one of them had their own problems. Overall, from my impressions, I'm just going to count those as like a one-time thing. So based on that, I would give Mastercard a 5-star rating. For Visa, not too far behind, I would give it a 4-star rating. For American Express though, it was simple, it was easy. For the wait time to actually get in contact with a concierge took almost 2 to 3 times longer than Visa and Mastercard. So overall, I think I'll give American Express a 3-star rating. But now it's time to go through the second factor, politeness. Overall, politeness from all three seemed to be really similar. When we first got on a call with Visa and Mastercard, the person that we were talking to had, I don't know, they seemed like they were kind of annoyed, but I think it was just probably a long day for them. And then later going into the call, they were very nice and very accommodating. As for American Express, they were very polite and, you know, the service that you expect from American Express. The only issues that I really had on that American Express call is that they kept transferring you to different departments. And also there was just a lot of things that they couldn't get done for us. However, I don't think it's necessarily a dock on their politeness. I think it's more of a American Express policy thing. So overall, for all the concierge, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, I will give them all 5 stars. Now, as for knowledge, so this is everything that we got from American Express. Now for events and activities, they did have some interesting recommendations. It's kind of weird that they pushed you to get your guide, but they were still able to do it. One thing though is definitely weird. They spelled Washington wrong. So they recommended a kin yoga, which is pretty cool. Arc Tech House, I've done it before. It's a really good experience. I would say, you know, pretty basic. Overall, they're pretty good recommendations. They're not like the best. They're not like the nitty gritty, like here's a secret place that you want to go to in DC, but they're pretty good nonetheless. As for dining, I felt like they recommended a lot of different upscale restaurants. Now I understand when you hold the American Express Platinum card, you're expected to have a high income, but I think it's kind of strange that they at least didn't give you at least an option for some cheaper venues. One thing too I like about American Express's recommendations is that they give you addresses that are close to the hotel, so that's pretty cool, along with the dress code. They even give you the distance that it would take to go from your hotel to the restaurant they're recommending. And looking through them all, yes, they're really expensive restaurants, but they are pretty good recommendations. I've had this place once, it's pretty good. As for Visa, they sent everything into one attachment, which is really nice and really cool. However, for some reason, we didn't get the same person that we talked to on the phone. Unless I'm mishearing, I don't think we talked to a Tim. Now for transportation, I was actually really impressed with what they came up with. So they suggested 3 different modes of private transportation: Black Lane, 6 My Driver, and Transfero. But they also give you other options if you didn't want to pay the higher price. I think one of the best ways to get around DC is using the Metro. Only costs $2 per person. And the Visa Concierge was the only one to suggest the Metro. As for dining, now this is where it gets a little bit, you know, not that great. So the first option isn't a bad option. The kitchen and cocktails gives you a little debrief. It doesn't really give you the dress code or the vibe of the restaurant, so that kind of sucks. Now these two, this barbecue place is probably a really good option. The only issue I have is it's in Columbia, Maryland. Columbia, Maryland is closer to Baltimore, which is an hour drive. I don't know. I think it's a little bit weird. And then it doesn't really help too with the third recommendation. They suggested Manassas, Virginia. That's also about an hour away from DC. So 2 out of the 3 suggestions, it's kind of a flop. As for activities, they don't seem bad. Here's a tour by foot, another tour, and then another tour. Yes, I understand that Anthony says that he loves tours, but at least I feel like there should be like a suggestion of something else, right? Now for Mastercard, it's a lot. Like, look at this. Look at how many pages that I printed out. Now, a lot of it is a spring guide, and it's just telling you different things that the Mastercard concierge can do. So that's pretty cool. You know, they give you some recommendations if you went to Germany. So it's just kind of a nice thing to have. Now for the actual request. Now for the birthday gift, this is the email they sent me. So the first option they sent me was something that was $210, which my budget was between $100 and $200. It's a Chanel perfume. Second thing they suggested was a Pro facial steamer, dome cutoff bracelet, Brilliant Earth. This is actually something that my wife would actually like. And then they gave me this option of a floral jewelry box. So personally, I'm not a good judge on deciding whether or not these are actual good gifts to give to your girlfriend, your wife, or your partner. So I decided to text my wife and see what she thought of these recommendations. As for dining, now this was actually very impressive. So yes, it was like American Express. They recommended some pretty expensive options. So this is pretty expensive, that's pretty expensive. And so are these. I believe American Express actually recommended cranes too, which it's not a bad option. Mastercard actually went beyond American Express and gave you an insider tip. So if you love jazz, you love a bargain, set dinner available and weekly night jazzes. But even further along that, so they had a complimentary benefit listed out on each of these restaurants. Versus American Express, we know American Express will give these benefits, but it's not at every single restaurant, and it may not even be all the time. I've had a lot of dinner reservations made by American Express, and not once have I ever gotten anything extra from an American Express concierge booking it. And now for activities and things to do, it was still pretty impressive. So the first option is to have a tour of the DC monuments in Capitol Hill by electric cart, and they tell you exactly what the tour includes, how much the price, so $69 per person. The second option was food tours, and the third option is a private tour within the Smithsonian Natural History Museum. And then the fourth option is actually a really cool option. If you went like with a group of people, it might be worth it. So there are definitely some basic options, but there are also some pretty unique options that are, you know, once in a lifetime experiences. But not only did they give me recommendations for dining and events, they gave me this master guide on everything that you could do in DC. And let me tell you, like I said, I lived in DC for a while. I visit DC quite often, and this is probably something that I would recommend to anyone who's visiting DC. Like for example, seeing the old post office pavilion clock tower, the Exorcist stairs, a very high tourist type of thing to do, but not many tourists know that it even exists. There's also near the Exorcist stairs, the Transformers and their life-size Transformers. Place an order at Ben's Chili Bowl. Also do the Arctech House like American Express recommended. But yeah, all these recommendations I would personally recommend anyone to do. And what's really impressive about this little list is that there are free things to do and paid things to do. Dine at a Jose Andres restaurant, and you know, that's pretty good. It made Anthony Venture's wife cry. So the knowledge that the Mastercard concierge had is just as good as a local, if not better. And I don't know why I didn't have this printed out, but the Mastercard concierge also gave me some options for transportation. First option, you'll be riding in an Escalade, but it will cost almost $200. And the second option that they recommended was a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, and that would run you about $600. So very expensive options, probably options that I'm not familiar with, probably wouldn't never be familiar with. Who knows, we'll see how this YouTube thing works out. However, they did give you the options, so they did fulfill that request successfully. So for knowledge, American Express, it wasn't too bad. Definitely the restaurant recommendations was kind of high up there. They didn't really take your budget into consideration. The activities were kind of plainish, a little bit more research compared to some of the other options. Overall, I think I will give them a 3-star. As for Visa, I would have to give them maybe about 2 stars, maybe even 1 star. Overall, it didn't seem like their knowledge was quite there. They kind of recommended you things kind of all over the place. Now for Mastercard, you may have already guessed this rating. It's going to be a true 5 stars. Their knowledge for their concierge is definitely top tier. Now as for length of time. So this is how long it took for the overall call. If we're speaking directly to the Visa concierge, not going through the Chase Sapphire Prefers line, it would have taken 18 minutes and 6 seconds. Now because we had to contact the number on the back of the card, it took a total of 23 minutes and 12 seconds. So it really depends on where you want to start from. As for Mastercard, from the first time that we started calling them, including when the 2 times that the call dropped, it took 18 minutes and 4 seconds. But if we don't want to count those 2 calls dropping, for the last call, it only took 10 minutes and 3 seconds. And for American Express, it took a total of 22 minutes and 12 seconds. Now, it was the opposite when we received all the documents. So American Express was first. They gave us the documents only a day later, so we called them at Thursday in the afternoon, and they gave us the completed documents at 12:48 p.m. on Friday. So basically 24 hours. For Visa, it really was down to their word. It came in at 7:06 p.m. on Friday, so exactly a day and 7 hours. So pretty impressive. And for Mastercard, for all their documents, it finally finished at 10:42 p.m. on Monday. So it did take Mastercard a lot longer to give you all the documents. For length of time for American Express, I would give it, you know, a pretty good 4 stars. The concierge call did take a little bit of time, but they did give it to us really quickly. For Visa, it's not too far behind. The call took a little bit quicker. They weren't too much longer than American Express. I would say 5 stars. As for Mastercard, the call took the least amount of time, but it did take a long time to get you all the recommendations. I would say based on that, I would give it 3 stars. However, I guess just for my overall perception and, you know, going through this whole process, I would definitely give Mastercard a 5 stars, definitely hands down the best concierge out of all 3. American Express wasn't too bad. They gave you just the necessities that you needed. I would say 3 stars, and then for Visa, I would have to give 2 stars. That knowledge, I think, is really an important part of being a concierge. And because they couldn't really deliver on those recommendations, I don't know, it gave me a little bit of a sour taste. But yeah, that was comparing all 3 different types of concierge that you can get using your credit card. I hope you thought that was interesting, and I'll see you later. Oh, and I forgot to say, Mastercard was the only one to actually follow up with me after we had our conversation. You gotta thank Virginia. She works at Mastercard Concierge, and she's literally the best.
I just accomplished more in these 2 seconds playing Connect 4 than I did in that 20-minute phone call with the Amex Concierge. What a waste of time.